Let's go. Last one. Yep. Get two.
All right, BG crew, we just wrapped up the second day of this Stronger by the Day strength routine. Feeling really, really good. The major key right now is being patient. I have to be patient. I have to really adapt to this routine. If you've noticed, the last 2 days is a pretty big shift in what I'm used to over the last 245 days of the no days off training cycle. So it's really adapting to this new routine. Most importantly, my body's adapting to, a much faster movement of the weight, so a lot more speed when moving the weight. So yesterday, you'll notice I did, I had a bench day yesterday, and the first exercise was bench, and I did 10 sets of 2 of roughly 35% of what I kind of figured was a close max. Being somewhat conservative, as again I said, I'm trying really to be patient because it's a huge shift. Doing speed work and really kind of moving that weight really fast is a whole nother set of muscles that my body has probably not used a lot of in the last routine. So it's very important that I stay patient and adapt the body to it. And speed, when it comes to strength, speed is so essential to getting stronger. So you have to be quick, you have to move the weights fast, but it takes some time for the body to adjust to those fast twitch muscles and different things to make that weight move. So I'm being extremely patient, extremely conservative. Yesterday's bench was 10 sets of 2 with like 140. But again, moving it as fast as I can. And that took me even some time in the workout to get, I would say probably my 6th set, 7th set, the body was starting to kind of remember, and I was utilizing muscles because you can get hurt really fast, transitioning really quick. And if you try to go, right after it, you can get hurt with really light weights trying to move stuff fast. Things will snap pretty quick, so you have to be careful. So really conservative. So yesterday was a bench day to start this thing out. And again, just getting the body adapted to this. It's going to take some time. The workouts aren't that exciting, to be honest. Of course, I'm mentally in it and motivated and excited. Obviously, just loving to do this in general. But the workouts, as far as putting weight on the bar and kind of really getting crazy with different kinds of speed work and max effort work, is going to take some time. So they're not that exciting. But again, patience is the key. Today was a squat and deadlift day. Same thing. Another so-called speed day. Again, using about roughly 40% of what my predicted kind of idea of a max is. Now, I will have test weeks and max effort weeks, of course, with a couple max effort days coming up soon. Again, those will be really conservative as well, but I'll start getting a more general idea of what my numbers are so that I can continue to build those percentages over the weeks when I do my speed work. Now, again, this is not going to be a straight up kind of West Side Condritant method training. I am going to add a lot of my own kind of things that I've learned over the years. So definitely stay tuned for that and watch the variations that I add into this workout. But right now it's really basic and just really getting the body adapted to this new routine. And I have to be really patient, but I'll be adding some pretty awesome variations and doing a lot of different things. And not just the variations in kind of the exercise or how, a barbell dumbbell variations, but also utilizing variations of power building and bodybuilding and adding rep days, high volume days, mixing up both max effort and high volume days, so intensity and high volume, and really switching that up. So the variation in that concept, you're going to see a lot of that throughout this process. So it's been a really solid last 2 days. Obviously, I feel great. I'm ready to rock and roll, but I have to be patient. I'm trying not to think of old numbers or old percentages or what I used to do. I'm really kind of starting from the ground, building that foundation once again, and it's going to take a couple weeks to get back into kind of a feel where the body is trained again to adapt to this type of training. So it's going to take some time for my body to get, used to this again. So it's going to take time. So with that, the last 2 days have been extremely solid. Really, really good days. Today, like I said, was a squat and deadlift utilizing about 40% of a predicted kind of max effort. So I have to figure out what those numbers are, and those numbers are going to vary immensely because I'm going to set my percentages on my speed days. I'm going to set my percentages based on the max effort variation that I do at any given time. Now I have to be conscious. I'm going to be max effort, and we're doing 1 to 3 to maybe even 5 rep max days. So it's going to be, it's going to be somewhat, it's going to vary. It's not going to be exactly all the time, 1% off whatever max I did the week. So I'm going to vary. I'm going to switch it around quite a bit. And again, also with recovery now, because I'm going to have max effort and high intensity in these workouts, recovery is going to play an important role on what that flow of percentage looks like and what the max effort numbers are. For instance, I may hold on. So let's say, I have a max effort day and I do, a 500-pound rack pull. So again, you would think, okay, well, then I'm going to base my percentages off of that 500-pound rack pull for the next wave of speed days. But remember, I might do a max effort day of a different variation of a deadlift, maybe full deadlift off the ground, and I get a certain number there. I'm going to stick with that percentage off a 3-week wave based on the rack pull, not what my max effort deadlift looked like straight off the floor. I may rotate that, so I may finish a 3-week wave of percentages based off of the rack pull, and then think back about the deadlift max effort that I had off the floor, and then maybe base the next 3-week wave of percentages based off of that pull. So I'd be almost, at the end of it, I'd be 6 weeks away from 2 max effort days, so to speak, if that makes sense. So I'll kind of walk through a lot of it. It's somewhat confusing, but again, like I said, it all makes sense up here, and everything seems to be really feeling good so far. Definitely feeling strong, so really, really excited about that. As I mentioned in another video, my body weight is going to fluctuate anywhere between 255 and 248, 247. I do not want to fall under 245, and I do not want to get over 255. So that is my goal. This morning, I weighed in right at 250 pounds this morning. So, I like that weight for this strength routine. I think that's a perfect place for me to be, and I want to give myself some wiggle room in that, give or take 5 pounds on either side. So that's really a good spot to be. The diet I'm still working on. I still have a little bit more work to do on the diet, so that's going to take some time to adapt as well. I want to make sure 100% that I'm getting, most importantly, enough hydration in the body. So I want to make sure that I'm eating a lot of fruit and getting a lot of my, my fluids in, of course. And so just making sure the body's staying as hydrated, as lubricated as possible. That is so important if you're looking at strength, is to really maintain a solid sense of hydration. You got to stay hydrated, and then everything else kind of falls into place with the meals and stuff like that based on my body weight and kind of how I'm feeling. I definitely want to be able to hold on to as much water as I can, so I'll be messing around with some of my sodium and different things like that. To really make sure that I'm hanging on to water. And I feel, bloated when I train. Again, I'm training sleep fasted, so I want to have, enough sodium in the body to hold in the water that I can. So when I train in the morning, I feel as bloated as possible because I do not eat a meal before I train. And you'll see a lot of people out there that strength train or even into the world of powerlifting. They want to eat as much as they can, or relatively as much as they can, to feel bloated and feel as full as possible for their lift. Again, just everything is tighter, weight moves weight, and so having that in there. But since I train sleep fasted, I'll be messing around with my sodium a little bit during this, during this diet for this. And figuring that out. So I'm rambling a little bit. So just a lot of different things that are playing a role into this to make sure that I, am as optimal as possible. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. And as far as right now, it looks like tomorrow will be a bench day again. So stay tuned for that. And then I'll more than likely have a rest day, which would be Wednesday for a rest day, and then back at it Thursday. So stay tuned, and I will keep you guys well informed, but we'll see you tomorrow for the next lift.